Hello, everybody, and welcome to Competitively Viable, the weekly MTG news podcast made by a few competitive players who thought they could make a podcast. I'm John, and joining me, first off, is William.
Hello.
And also, along with William, we have Luke.
What's up?
All right, so this week's news, really the big thing came out at the day of recording. It is the new Secret Lair Superdrop. They just are calling it the February 2022 Superdrop, and it is going to be live from February 18th to March 18th. So, I think we're just going to jump right into talking about the cards. So, one of the secret layers in the Superdrop is a Street Fighter crossover, so it is mechanically unique and going into Eternal formats. Everything else is reprints. So I guess we'll start off by talking about the mechanically unique cards. These are the Street Fighter cards. I guess we can just go through them one by one. I think they're mostly for Commander though. So first off, we have E Honda Sumo Champion. It is 4 white for a 0/7 legendary creature human warrior. It has Sumo Spirit. As long as it's your turn, each creature assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. It also has 100-handed slap. Whenever E Honda Sumo Champion attacks, up to 100 target creatures each get +0/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. This seems pretty good for Commander. If you're building just mono white big butts deck. Or just even a go wide deck, because if this thing's swinging and you have 3 cards in hand, this is giving everything +3/+3.
Yep. It's weird somewhat how they put the 100 target creatures each get +0/+X. I mean, what are you gonna be doing? Playing Scoot Swarm?
I guess the best I can think of is I think that's mostly just for flavor.
reasons.
Yeah.
I would assume. I'm gonna assume that that in the Street Fighter game that I have, or Street Fighter games that I do not know anything about, this character has 100 hands.
Yeah.
But that just that most likely there's not going to be any difference between 100 creatures and any number.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
He
quite
does an interesting card, as in it has the text where it assigns combat damage like Huatley and that one in white.
Arcades, Doran.
Yeah. You know that text. And then it gives everything +X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. It seems like a pretty good card, to be fair.
I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, 6 mana creature that needs to attack just seems really janky and not very good.
Although I think it'd be very fun to play in Commander.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But at
the
same time, you'd probably just rather play Arcades or Doran if you're gonna play a big butts deck. And if you're using this as a go wide, you'd have to be really into Street Fighter.
Though I believe Arcades is only creatures with Defender that it gives the extra plus.
All right, fine. You can play Doran.
This is interesting. It doesn't seem like a good commander, because being mono white just isn't really enough if you want the full plethora of cards that you want to play with this. But I do find it interesting that it grants +0/+X for the number of cards in your hand. I assume that's flavor reasons again for his hands.
Yeah.
But on a white card, we don't normally see anything referencing the cards in your hand unless it's, restricting your card draw.
Yeah. This seems to be kind of a bit of a color pie break, though I can let it pass because of the flavor they were going for. Obviously, we'll see how much of a difference the mechanically unique cards and secret layers are, but This, as far as the actual card design itself, I think I'm fine with that. Next off, we can go on to Ryu World Warrior. William, what does this card do?
Ryu World Warrior. It is 3 and a white for a 2/4 legendary creature human warrior with training. That's the mechanic from Crimson Vow.
Or
Crimson
was that
Vow.
Crimson Vow? Yeah.
Yes, and then it has I'm gonna mispronounce this. Hadouken.
Hadouken.
Yeah.
Because remember, when you're playing Smash, it's
Yeah.
Hadouken.
Yeah, it will say like that like 100 times in a row because you just spam
Yep.
that because that's all you do.
And that ability is 4 and a red, and then untap it and discard a card, and he will deal damage equal to his power to any target, and then if you deal excess damage, draw a card.
Okay. So looking at this, I don't know why they're exactly bringing back training. Wasn't the most popular mechanic when it came out in Crimson Vow. Not entirely sure why they were so into that idea. Though a 3-mana 2/4 doesn't seem terrible, at least in limited. I mean, this card. I mean, if you're playing, this card isn't going to see play in Legacy. That's for sure. I can see what they're trying to do with the attack, get training, and then you can. So now he's a 3/5, and then you can pay 5 and untap it and deal some damage. But really, this just seems so slow, and just it needs so many things to go right. You need another creature to attack with. You need a creature that has the right power and toughness for this to actually work against. Like, it works against a 3/3, but against a 4/4, you're paying 3 mana up front and then 5 mana and untapping it and discarding a card just to trade with a 4/4. That doesn't seem very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this card is like, once again, I think the idea is fun and everything. And to be fair, it like just on the card and in general, it doesn't look like a red-white card to me. I feel like it would be, you should like, instead it should be like blue-red and maybe like 2 or 1 to do the ability, not 4 and a red.
Yeah.
This card just seems slow, and the setup cost is just too high. Next up is Ken Burning Brawler. Luke, what does this card do?
Ken Burning Brawler is a 1 red legendary creature human warrior for 8 that has prowess and 1 and a red hybrid to hybrid 1 red white. Ken gains first strike until end of turn. Whenever Ken deals combat damage, you may cast a sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost, and it's a 4/2.
So just to be clear, the ability that gives it first strike is red-white hybrid, so you can pay a red or a white. This card so first off, prowess. I know a lot about prowess because I play that deck in Modern, but a 3-mana prowess creature is not where you want to be, because if you're just setting up a creature that just dies to removal, to maybe get a bunch of damage in on turn 4, that does not seem good. The first strike is a nice addition, but it's basically the only thing that's keeping this 4/2 alive in combat. And then the ability just only being able to cast sorceries is weird and annoying. You're casting it from your hand, which means you're down a card. This ability is really only gaining you mana. This card seems like it's got a lot of text that is on good cards, but it's not good.
Yeah. This card doesn't really seem that amazing. Do we want to quickly mention just the fact that they bring back flavor flavor keyword abilities.
I'm not sure. Are these flavor keyword abilities or are these or wait, or I'm pretty sure or are these the like kind of like along the lines of Landfall where it's just like a remind. I don't know what they're called, but
No, I'm pretty sure it's a flavor ability.
Yeah,
but the way
I
it's
believe
set
these
up,
are
I
more
don't
like
think
the.
is this like the AFR thing or is this
No, I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
yeah. Actually, I
Yeah.
think this is a flavor thing.
I
I mean,
think this is
it
a
does
good
help
way.
that it helps people that like me that don't really know much about Street Fighter to kind of get the flavor, but it yeah, it just doesn't seem. I mean, it doesn't seem totally necessary, and it just really makes these cards feel kind of. It makes them feel like, slow, not that great commander cards, which they are, but it really kind of takes away from the design of the card, I feel like.
Really, I think it adds a lot to the design of the card. I feel like this is one of the best ways to add uh the flavor of the setting and the world and the card without, adding extra abilities or, you know, anything like that. This is like explaining. This also just explains the card and like what each ability does flavor wise.
I guess that is true. I don't know. I feel like I do kind of prefer the way they did it in AFR.
Yeah.
This I don't know. I feel like they're taking an already complicated card and adding more words to it, which kind of gets in the way. But yeah.
I do think
It
that
does help
this
explain.
helps explain and makes it a bit of a funner card. More like you get the idea out that it's not supposed to be played as like this competitive card, that they meant it to be something from Street Fighter that has flavor.
The other thing that I really wanted to mention is the art on this card. You can see in the art in the background there's an American flag. And this is a bit strange because I believe, even though we've had other modern world themed secret layers with the Walking Dead one and the Stranger Things one, I don't think we've ever really seen any references to like modern day
Yeah, that is interesting.
politics.
I wouldn't call this politics. I'd just say like all the things that we've seen so far are modern day, but not like specifically this world, I guess. This is very specifically like this is taking place on Earth. In America, it appears, and I guess I mean, I guess that would make sense if Ken in Street Fighter is like the American fighter or whatever, then maybe that would make sense. But that is interesting to point out that this is the first time we've seen like something specifically of our world on a magic card.
Also, I don't know how the reaction is going to be from like other countries. The fact that this is the only card in this entire secret lair that actually has symbolic reference to the country that it is in.
I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that this is within the flavor of Street Fighter, and I think it's fine if this follows what Street Fighter is.
I hope that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next card is Blanca, Ferocious Fiend. This is 3 red green for a 5/5 legendary creature, human beast warrior. It has haste. So 5 mana 5/5 haste. And it's got roiling attack. Blanca, Ferocious Fiend has trample as long as you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. Electric Thunder, whenever Blanca becomes a target of a spell, he gets +2/+2 until end of turn and deals 2 damage to each opponent. So this card is definitely pointing in one direction, and that is pump this guy a lot.
Yeah, so it's like instant sorceries, Voltron, you know. And I assuming from Street Fighter that this guy is probably aggro, maybe, like has like these like attacks that like very like electric or fiery, and then I think they got I don't even know Street Fighter, and I think they got this flavor right. I think this would be a fun card to play in Commander, just cause like.
Yeah, this especially compared to the other ones, I think this is one they really need to reprint outside the Secret Lair, because this is a card that I think people would actually be interested in playing. I don't know who would be interested in playing Ryu or Ken, but this is actually a very interesting card, and I think this opens up an entirely new archetype in red green. I mean, we've seen the pump spell deck in like red white with feather, but other than that,
Yeah.
this is pretty new. So I think this probably should get a reprint somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
like this like. To be fair, it wouldn't be like insanely like powerful. Like it's not gonna be like, like so busted. Like this could possibly be printed in limited. To be fair, it would be probably an A, or it'd be an insane card, but it could be printed.
Yeah. This seems like, I mean, I wouldn't say on par with Feather. This seems like a cross between like random Gruul Commander and Feather, where it's like you want to cast a bunch of pump spells on it, but after that, it just gets bigger, gets trample, and deals damage.
I think the thing about this guy is that it finishes your opponents off faster than Feather does, but Feather keeps you drawing cards or at least bringing
like
the cards
it
back.
Can go in the late game too.
This would run out of cards extremely fast.
Yeah. So it's more of like it's more of just a all-in style strategy where really like you've got to prepare one big attack and then just like empty your hand, and then I don't know, slowly rebuild from there.
Yeah. Next card is Chun-Li, Countless Kicks, which is kind of a weird name. I feel like it probably would be Chun-Li with Countless Kicks or of Countless. I don't know. I feel like this Countless Kick. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I did see that.
Seems a little weird. Anyway,
like weird.
William, what does this card do?
So Chun-Li Countless Kicks is 1 white and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature, human soldier. It has multi-kicker of white blue, so hybrid white blue. And when it enters the battlefield, exile up to X target instant cards from your graveyard, where X is the number of times Chun-Li was kicked, and then it has put a kick counter on each of them. And then it has lightning kick. Whenever it attacks, copy each exiled card you own with a kick counter on it. You may cast the copies. Oh boy.
This card, if you can get to attacking with it, and if you're able to set it up, seems pretty good. Though you would have to pay 5 mana for a 3/3 to make it like probably like worth it, unless you can find some insanely powerful instant. I feel like there are other cards that do this better, especially because it only says instants. At least so. I don't. Okay, so I think starting here, I'm gonna just rule out the possibility of any of these seeing play in formats other than Commander. But in Commander, this card seems pretty good. Though I think the only limitation is it can only hit instants.
I've played decks like this. I really don't think this card is gonna do much because it's if you want to actually kick it, by the time you kick it, you're still paying for a 3/3, and by that time your opponent probably will have a 6/6 because in Commander they ramp up and play this really like Elder Gargaroth or something. That's gonna like it's just not gonna get through. Like, and I don't think it's gonna be a very fun card because there have been like cards that just say like can't be blocked by something, and even those cards, it's just like a get through with damage. Those decks aren't very fun. So I think personally, I don't think I'm gonna like this card in Commander at all.
I think you need to put a lot of protection and ways to get it through to make this card any good, and then it's just okay. I think it's solid if you can get one attack and recast 2 good instants out of your graveyard. This card seems good, and then it only seems like it's really worth playing over like other commanders if you get into probably like the second attack range.
Yeah. What this card reminds me of is Narset Enlightened Master.
Definitely.
Which is another card. It's 3 blue, red, white for a 3/2 first strike hexproof, and then when it attacks, you exile the top 4 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast non-creature spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. So it's similar in the way where you can attack and then get cards for free. Although Narset has a few things which this card doesn't have. For one, you look through your library instead of your graveyard, so you don't have to already cast the card already, so you can get big game-ending spells without, having to already cast them, in which case you probably would have won the game. It has hexproof, which means that it's really hard to deal with it. And also you can cast non-creature spells, so you can cast sorceries, artifacts, enchantments, planeswalkers, etc. off of it as well.
I think the 2 big differences between the 2 are really the hexproof and the sorceries. Really all the big, crazy, powerful spells that you'd be casting are sorceries. And a lot of times the way that Narset is played is play it and then just try to keep flipping extra turn spells off the top of your library and extra combat spells. Chun-Li, really the only thing I can think of is if you can combo it with Nexus of Fate, and that's about it.
Oh, not even Nexus of Fate, because that shuffles back into your library when you cast it.
Well, if you can get it into your graveyard,
right.
you can exile it with Chun-Li and then cast copies of it.
You can't get it into your graveyard, because if it would be put into a graveyard, it shuffles into your library.
Wait, isn't that just a resolve trigger?
If it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal it and put it into its owner's library instead.
Alright then, so that doesn't work.
So you can't combo it with Nexus of Fate. And then I'm looking through like a typical Narset Enlightened Master deck. Other cards that you want to be casting with is Time Stretch, Sorcery, Expropriate, Sorcery, Temporal Mastery, Sorcery, Time Warp, Sorcery, Seize the Day, Sorcery, Temporal Manipulation, Sorcery, Omniscience, Sorcery, Beacon of Tomorrow, Sorcery, Waves of Aggression, Sorcery, Temporal Trespass, Sorcery, Walk the Aeon, Sorcery, Karn's Temporal Sundering. So you get the idea. Like, it's 99% sorceries, and the only real instant on there was Nexus of Fate.
Yeah,
but
so
that doesn't even work with this card.
Okay, so as it turns out, yeah, I did a quick Scryfall search. Yeah, nothing works with this.
Yep. The best. Yeah. So, as you could have told from that, one of the best things to do with these type of cards is just extra turn, extra combat, extra turn, extra combat, and just loop it over and over and over and
Yeah.
over and over and over again. But there's like no real instant extra turn or combat spells. So, another combat phase spells. So, it seems like a decent value commander. But
to me,
I
this
also
seems
feel like
really just you can't do anything really that broken with it. It just seems like basically a bad version of Narset.
Yeah. Also, I feel like people are gonna look at this and think of Narset and kill you quickly because it's like, oh no, you're gonna be casting a bunch of like cards for free whenever it attacks, and
Yeah.
when in reality it doesn't really do that. So you'll be like a target, and that's not great, especially when your commander doesn't actually do what they think it does.
Unfortunately, you still have to cast the spells. It's not just for free.
No. Wait.
No.
Oh, you're right. It's not even without paying its mana cost. This card's terrible.
Yeah, it's not even without paying its mana cost. Yeah,
all right. Scrap everything we said on this card. This card is just bad.
You guys did not notice that.
No.
No, we didn't notice that.
Okay, so I actually knew this because I've seen cards, and I thought from AFR Wizard's Spellbook, I remember I thought you could cast it without paying its mana cost on one of the abilities, but then it didn't, and I was like, what the heck? So yeah, so I look out for those things.
All right, so yeah, this card is terrible. On to the next thing. Dulcim, Pliable Pacifist. Luke, what does this card do?
Dulcim, Pliable Pacifist is 2 green white for a 1/3 reach. Teleport. Dulcim, Pliable Pacifist has hexproof unless he's attacking. Whenever a creature you control with reach attacks, untap it, and it can be blocked by creatures with greater power this combat. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Okay, so just a heads up, the draw card ability only can only trigger one. Like, you only draw one card. You don't draw multiple if you hit them with multiple creatures. I guess, so this is Reach Tribal.
Some pacifist caring about dealing combat damage.
That's funny. But yeah, Reach Tribal just doesn't seem that great. No?
Yeah, Reach Tribal. How much support is there for that? Like, none?
No, there's actually one card for Ikoria.
Okay, one card for Ikoria.
No, actually, that was Vigilance. Never mind.
Never mind, that was Vigilance. So we've got pretty much no Reach synergies. And this Reach commander, this seems...
No?
Good challenge? Good deck building challenge?
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Oh boy.
On to another guy with America flags in the art. Guile, Sonic Soldier. This is 1 blue, red, white for a 4/4 legendary creature, human soldier. Whenever Guile, Sonic Soldier enters the battlefield or attacks, put a charge counter on him or remove one from him. When you remove a counter this way, choose one. Guile, Sonic Soldier deals 4 damage to any target, or Guile, Sonic Soldier gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. So basically, every 2 attack, every enter battlefield or attacks, but every 2 times the ability triggers, you get to either give him lifelink and indestructible, or deal 4 damage to any target. Lifelink and indestructible will not save him from removal, because you can't activate this ability at in response to a removal spell. It's only when it enters battlefield or attacks. And the 4 damage is nice, but it just doesn't seem to be I don't think it's enough to really be worth playing a 4-mana 4/4.
Unless you're playing like extra combat or like blink deck, I don't think this card will do much of anything in Commander or any other.
Is it just me? How is this a blue card? It's 1 blue, red, white. How is this a blue card?
I think probably flavor.
I'm thinking he looks to be a. I think he looks to be a some kind of American soldier, and I'm thinking blue, white, blue, and red is for the
Red, white, and blue.
basic. Yeah, so basically, really, it's a red white card, and they added blue to get the red, white, and blue America colors.
Oh boy. Other than that, this card seems kind of bad. The lifelink and indestructible can only really save it from like blockers. 4 damage to any target.
And even then, they can just block him with a 5/5, and yes, you're gaining 4, but other than that, it's not doing much.
Yeah. Like and half the time it's just a 4/4. Yeah, this card doesn't seem amazing. Like, if you could do this every turn, this card might have been okay.
Yeah, it would be okay.
It would probably see more. It would probably see significantly more play if you did this every turn. But like every other turn, I mean, seriously?
No, to be fair, I doubt it would see much play anyway because it's a secret lair and you can only get it once.
True.
Besides that.
All right, next up, Zangief the Red Cyclone. William, what does this do?
Okay, so this is our last card, Zangief the Red Cyclone. 2 black, red, green for a 7/4 legendary creature human warrior. Oh boy. Zangief the Red Cyclone must be blocked if able, as long as it's your turn. It has indestructible, and then spinning pile driver. When it deals damage to a creature, if that creature was dealt excess damage this turn, that creature's controller sacrifices a non-creature, non-land permanent.
I think this is a fun commander, and I think this is kind of like the designs that I would like to see. There's probably multiple ways to build this card, and it's definitely a bit of a high risk, high reward kind of card. I think this is a cool design, and I like this card.
Yeah.
Is it good? No. Is it fun? Sure.
No, it might be good.
I think this card looks a lot like Zurgo Helm Smasher.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty good comparison.
I think they wanted to like make something that's like a lot like that, but it's just worse actually. Because, I mean, what's the chances that they're gonna be playing an artifact or enchantment deck in Commander? Like most of the time, that's just a big creature format.
Yeah.
I mean, the chances are you're not gonna be playing against an artifact or enchantment deck, and there's no sideboard in Commander.
Yeah. Non-creature, non-land does actually hit a lot. Think about it. You've got all of their mana rocks plus, like, Rhystic Study plus...
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, mana
Basically, it'll make them sacrifice anything that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card seems... I think this is probably my favorite card of these 8.
Yeah, this and Blanca definitely seem like they're gonna be played the most.
Yeah, especially if they like reprint them at like not Street Fighter cards. I think those two will definitely see their fair share of commander decks.
The list, they're all gonna be in the list.
Yes, and it also had an increased drop rate too.
Yeah, 3 times the drop rate. We'll be seeing the Stranger Things ones next set in the list. So
yeah. Anyway, we've been talking about the Street Fighter cards for 35 minutes, it appears. So let's go on to the next secret layer in the Super Drop, Lil Walkers. It is five chibi art planeswalkers, 4 of which seen 0 play from what I can tell, and Ashiok sees a bit.
Yeah, the art style on these cards personally isn't my favorite. They seem like, very big heads and tiny bodies and very disproportional everything.
I think the art's really cool.
Yeah.
It's not my it's not the kind of thing I would be totally paying money for to have on my battlefield, but like I can see why people would like these.
Oh yeah, if you like this style, then these cards seem amazing.
Yeah. The problem is they're basically stone unplayable except for Ashiok and maybe Tameo.
Yeah. Johnny, Hunter of Heroes, saw it play in its standard format.
Yes.
Angrath Flame Chained might see play in discard, and Sword Grim Nemesis is.
But by the time you get to 5 mana, there's nothing left to discard.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just go on to the.
Let's just move on.
Now.
Kaito Shizuki is the next secret lair super drop. This is 5 cards: Brain Freeze, Bribery, Snap, Unmask, and Shadow of Doubt. This is like really awesome. Like these are these are at least 4 playable cards. I don't know if how much play Shadow of Doubt sees.
Yeah, Shadow of Doubt.
I don't know about that one, but Brain Freeze is at least an iconic
$5.
card.
It's like $5.
Bribery and Snap and Unmask all see play in Eternal formats.
Yeah, Snap is like another $3. Bribery
is an
$30.
amazing card. That card's worth a lot. And then Unmask, I believe, is played in.
Yeah, it saw play in Legacy. And then Shadow of Doubt.
It's $4. Not the best card, but you can't have 5 amazing cards in a secret lair. I mean that's asking
and that's more
for a bit too
expensive
much.
than Snap.
It's not a horrible
okay.
card. It's not that bad though.
And then also accompanying that is like amazing Kaito Shizuki art. I mean,
oh yeah, this art is really cool. See, I think this is what secret lairs should aim to be.
Yeah.
This one is awesome. Also, it's in 2 colors, so they actually I think this would be really cool to pick up if you're building a cube or whatever. If these are 5 cards that could all go in your cube. Shadow of Doubt maybe not if you're not playing fetch lands, but I think this is at least 4 of these cards would all be very cool in cube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's only $30 for the non-foil version. So if all you want is a bribery, then this is, I don't know, same amount of money, and you get a little extra and a few months of shipping time.
Oh jeez, that's one way to put it.
So it's good value too.
Yeah.
About $40 worth of cards in a $30 package.
If I had whatever a monthly amount of money I could spend on Magic, I'd say I'd probably buy this. I'd probably not worth it for me, but I'd say this is a pretty awesome. If I had a secret lair to buy, if I had a little more money.
Yeah.
Next up, we have special guest Yuko Shimizu. This is 4 cards, all made by, the art is by the same artist, Yuko Shimizu, and it's Hokori Dust Drinker, Kira Great Glass Spinner, Eidolon of the Great Revel, and Elvish Spirit Guide. one of these cards definitely sees play. Elvish Spirit Guide might see play in Legacy, not entirely sure. Kira and Hokori might, I think, see a bit of play in Commander, but those two are not really the ones we're going for. I think Eidolon of the Great Revel is like the coolest card, or at least the card that most people are going to go for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Price wise, actually, this is also another pretty good one. Hokori Dust Drinker is like $5. Kira Great Glass Spinner is like $9. Eidolon of the Great Revels 15, and Elvish Spirit Guide is 12. So if you want all of these cards, it's not bad, and if you just want to buy it and then like sell it in a, when you get it, and make money, then that's another option.
I kind of like the art. It's kind of fun.
I think this art is great.
Oh yeah, this is my kind of art. It's like it's like a somewhat traditional Japanese style mixed with a bit of a more modern cartoony style.
I don't know. I kind of like in the Eidolon of Great Revel how he's flexing. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Then the next one is Showcase Neon Dynasty. It has Ghostly Prison freed from the real, Beseiju who shelters all, and Hall of the Bandit Lord. In the neon frame that I believe is also on Hitotsugu, or at least something similar. I'm not entirely sure.
Where's this?
Yeah, actually, it might not be quite the same thing.
Oh,
I think my guess is that it's gonna be the same like neon foiling process though that they were all hyped about.
Yeah, the art style is good. I liked how they used traditional Kamigawa cards that see quite a bit of play. Ghostly Prison
is Commander All-Star, freed from the real.
Yep.
It's a combo card.
Yeah.
It's not exactly I wouldn't say it's the best thing, but if you have a deck that wants freed from the real, it's a great card. Beseiju is it's just an all-around good card. Making it so your spells can't be countered is pretty solid. That card is going for $35, so that's pretty awesome. I mean, it hasn't seen a reprint except for From the Vault since original Kamigawa, and then Hall of the Bandit Lord is $25. So if you want to play these cards, this is they're pretty good.
But Ghostly Prison is another like $2 because it's been reprinted in a bunch of Commander products, and Freed from the Real is another like $3.
So as far as value goes, because of the two lands, this is really good.
Yeah. Well,
but you'd have to be able to play them to make it worth it.
How much money?
It's gonna be going for $50 though. Oh jeez, that's actually not quite good.
But that's
the
extra.
But it does only come. It only comes in foil.
Oh, okay. It is.
You get an extra $10 worth of your money, so that's not, or 20 or 15. So, I mean, if you want all of these cards, or if you just want to sell them, it's not a bad price.
Yeah. I think if you really only need like Beseiju or Hall of the Bandit Lord, I'd recommend just waiting for people to get this and then maybe buying it on the secondary market though.
Buying it on the set, yeah. Although they're probably gonna go for like $50 each anyway.
Yeah.
On the secondary market, it'd probably just be best to buy the original Kamigawa version if you just want the card. But if you want the special art, I don't know. This seems worth it. You buy it. You sell the whatever one that you're not using for another like you know $30 to $50
Yeah.
because it's looks cool.
Yeah.
And
I think if you're going to be using one of the two lands, this is a solid pickup. Otherwise, probably not.
yeah.
Next up, Shades Not Included. This is
Yes.
Yeah,
$30. Just another one of the $30 5 basic lands, but these look amazing.
Insane. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll describe the art. So they're like 80s, 90s, like retro wireframe, like landscapes with this cool sun slash moon in the background, where it's kind of like chopped up into little bits. You should really check out the art.
Yeah.
Although,
But like the plains has got like a ruin in the background, and otherwise it's just kind of flat. The island is like this big
Island.
I assume this is a mountainous island with a
Although-
bunch of little rocks floating through the sea.
Swamp's a graveyard. The
swamp's a
mountain's a big
graveyard.
mountain, and then the forest is the overview of the top of the forest.
although, these are $30 for only 5 lands, which is a really bad rate.
That is
Well,
true. $6 a land is not great, but if you do want to like bling out a commander deck, these look amazing.
Yes. Like, these have such good art.
like there are cheaper alternatives like the sweet new full arts and Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, but like if this is the style that you want and you're willing to pay $30 for, again, only 5 basic lands, then this is just amazing, the art quality
Yeah.
that you get on these. I feel
Yeah.
like the art on these has been getting better and better. Like it started with like these, ordinary basic lands, but like
Yeah.
with Godzilla on them, and now it's this.
Now they're taking like real creative liberties, I guess, to make them look really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Then is this might be the last one? Second to last. Second to last.
Second to last. Yep, that's right.
This is Japanese the hideaway lands. It's called Pictures of the Floating World. And my best way to describe this would be they look a lot like the Japanese lands on from the Kamigawa main set.
Yep.
Except with a text box. These look amazing.
They're entirely in Japanese, so you better know what they do.
Yeah.
Or you don't know what they do, and you just say like it wins the game to your friends who don't know Japanese either, and hopefully they trust you.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it says tap, added blue, and some text next to it. That text also says you win the game.
Of course. And it would work even better. Say you learn just a bit of Japanese, right? Then you can basically just tell them, yeah, trust me, it works like that.
Yeah.
But more seriously, yeah, these look awesome. And if you are playing Hideaway Lands, this is probably a good pickup if you like the art. If you don't play Hideaway Lands, I wouldn't exactly go out of your way to play them. They're not amazing. But yeah.
Yeah. The blue one, it does look like, what is it?
The Great Wave off of something or
yeah.
other.
The traditional Japanese Great Wave painting.
Kanagawa. Gee, that name seems so familiar. I wonder where they got the name Kamigawa from.
Anagawa. Oh yeah. Uh, so it does have like waves that are heavily inspired by that all around the island, and overall, I think these lands look. I don't. I don't think they look quite as good as the basics because just the way that they have to have like the text box on it and the text for like the the name of the card, it isn't just like one or two characters.
Yeah,
It's like seven.
that is true. But these
But
still look
otherwise these
amazing.
are
Yeah.
I love these lands.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. These are some of these Kamigawa lands are some of my favorite lands that they've ever printed.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on to the last secret layer in the Super Drop. We have Kamigawa the manga, the cards. This has 5 cards: Idyllic Tutor, Swords to Plowshare, Solve the Equation, Praetor's Grasp, and Veil of Summer. 2 of these see significant play. Another 2 of them see moderate play. Well, I'd say the other 3 see moderate play. All of these cards are definitely playable. With Swords to Plowshares and Veil of Summer being definitely on top.
I wouldn't call these moderately playable. Um, I'd call them good. I mean, Swords to Plowshares is pretty good. Uh, the price is only around $2, but the Strixhaven Mystical Archive version, which I guess we can take as a the Japanese version of that, which I guess we can take as a base a good example is like $10, so that's good. Idyllic Tutor.
That got reprinted in Therapy on Death, so I'm gonna assume that it's on the cheaper end.
Actually, it's like $5.
Oh, so I think we're looking at probably a collection of cards that are all in the $3 to $5 range, so not quite making it worth it for the $30 you're paying. But at the same time, like if you like manga, this art is pretty good, and it also has definitely some cool moments from the Kamigawa manga. We have a Swords Splashers has the Wandering Emperor slicing up Jin Gataxi as it appears. Kaito is infiltrating something or other and solve the equation. And Praetor's Grasp has something to do with Tezzeret and Jin Gataxias completing Tamios. Yeah, all these cards are definitely like story pieces.
Yeah.
Praetor's Grasp is like $15.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
It's also never been it's only been printed in foil and New Phyrexia, so the foil version's like $70.
Wow.
So apparently that card is a lot better than we think it is.
Well, it's probably gonna go down since it's got reprinted, to be fair.
Yeah, probably the foil version.
Yeah,
Veil of Summer, the normal version is $7, but the foil version is $52.
Oh, jeez.
And that was printed only 3 years ago.
Wait, you're telling me that that's $7?
Veil of...
I have like 3 of those.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the foil is
so
52.
I think this Secret Lair is pretty worth it, I'd say, if you like the art style.
Yeah.
And that is the last Secret Lair. The rest of the article is just a bunch of advertising and stuff. There are gonna be some playmats, and pins and T-shirts and stuff, but other than that, that's the end of that article. The last thing we wanted to touch on was, I don't know if this is like lowering, if you describe this as just lowering quality or what, because, not only, it was a foreign language German card, had the wrong text on it, but also an English card had the wrong text on it.
Yep.
I think this is probably just just they're printing out so many products that the quality control has gone down. Seven-Tail Mentor in German is forgot the dies trigger, and Okiba Cloud I think, or I can't remember what the card name was.
Sabia Trespassers.
Oh, Sabia Trespassers. Oh,
yep.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Sabia Trespassers ended up being a ninja, or
says
Moonfolk
Ninja.
Ninja, yeah.
But it's supposed to be Moonfolk Rogue. I actually have a copy from pre-release, and yeah, Moonfolk Ninja. So they did also mention a few things about the shipping, about pre-release and release in the Philippines and Thailand. That's
probably all COVID related things. So that's,
yeah, I assume that's all COVID related. Just
probably
wanted
not
to point it out.
That's probably not going to be like some kind of company mentality going forward. Yeah, but that's pretty much all the news for this week. So I think we're just going to have to call it a show. I have to leave soon because of baseball. So we're going to call it a show there. But before we go, William, where can we find you?
I'm over on the odds and ends. I mostly do the editing, and we're hopefully gonna have a video out within the next week. Hopefully.
All right, that'll be good to see. And Luke, where can we find you?
You can find me on Where the Lotus Grows in Crankoth's YouTube description. I am working on a set review right now, and I have a few tutorial videos if you're just getting into Magic.
To clarify, he's on my homepage because he's my brother, and gotta promote him until I get to the point where it's him just leeching off of me. And then you can also find him in the description of this video. So if either of those two things sound interesting, baking or more Magic the Gathering content, check those two channels out in the description of this podcast. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys next week with all the news that comes out in the next 7 days.